Hey everyone, and welcome. We're about to tune in to a network of conversations that are happening all around us, all the time. A network that often operates in total silence and, sometimes, in complete darkness. This is the secret world of animal communication.
I mean, just think about that for a second. Right now, in the air you're breathing, on the ground beneath your feet, and deep down in the oceans, there are these incredibly complex messages being sent and received. It's this bustling, invisible world of information that's completely beyond our human senses. Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to decode two of the most powerful and honestly just coolest of these hidden channels. First, we're going to explore the ancient and invisible language of chemicals, and then we're going to switch on the lights and look at the dazzling world of living light. First up, the language of scent. This is all about communication through chemicals, and it's one of the oldest forms of messaging on the entire planet. I mean, forget words or sounds. These are signals carried on the wind, dissolved in water, or just left on a leaf for someone else to find later. So the big fancy umbrella term for all these chemical signals is a semiochemical. It comes from the Greek word for signal, which makes sense, right? Basically, it's any chemical that one organism releases that goes on to influence the behavior of another living thing. It's a huge category, so let's narrow it down. Now this is the one you've probably heard of, a pheromone. The key thing to remember here is that pheromones are for communication within the same species. They're messages between members of the same club, so to speak. Think of a female moth releasing a scent that a male can pick up from miles away, or an ant leaving a chemical trail for its buddies to follow right to the picnic basket. It's an amazing system. And this is where it gets really strategic. You see, it's not always a win-win situation like with a pheromone. Sometimes only the sender benefits. That's called an allomone, like a plant releasing a chemical that tells insects, nope, don't eat me. Other times, the receiver gets the upper hand. That's a pheromone. This is when a predator smells its prey, but the prey definitely didn't mean to send that signal. And then you have the perfect partnerships, cinemones, where everybody wins, like a flower's scent attracting a bee, which gets nectar while pollinating the plant. It's a whole chemical economy out there. Okay, so from the invisible world of scent, let's totally switch gears to a language that is impossible to miss, the language of light. And we're not talking about reflecting sunlight here. We are talking about light that living things create themselves. Yep, this is bioluminescence. It's not a reflection, it's not fluorescence, it is living light. It's a cold light generated by a beautiful chemical reaction right inside an animal's body. It is literally nature's own glow stick. And you know, the basic recipe is surprisingly simple. You need a compound called a luciferin, that's what's going to emit the light. You need an enzyme, a luciferase, to kick things off. And you need a little bit of oxygen as fuel. You mix those together, and boom, pure light energy. Just a few simple ingredients for a totally spectacular result. And get this ability to create light isn't some evolutionary one-off, some weird fluke. Bioluminescence has evolved independently more than 40 different times across the tree of life. That is a massive clue from evolution telling us that being able to make your own light is an absolute game changer for survival. And you can see why. Animals use this light for, well, pretty much everything. Fireflies flash their lights to find a date. Deep in the ocean, anglerfish use a glowing lure to trick their next meal into swimming right up to their mouths. Some shrimp, when they're scared, will actually spew out a cloud of glowing liquid to blind a predator and make a quick escape. It's an incredible toolkit. Now, this might just be one of the cleverest survival hacks in the entire animal kingdom. So imagine you're a predator in the deep ocean, and you're looking up, trying to spot the shadow of a tasty fish against the dim light filtering down from the surface. Well, some animals, like the firefly squid, have an amazing defense. They light up their own bellies to perfectly match the light from above. They completely erase their own shadow. It's a real-life cloaking device.
So we've seen how animals use scent and light to communicate, to find mates, to survive. But here's the twist. In the high-stakes game of nature, any signal can be intercepted. Any code can be broken.
And this is where things get really dramatic. Those honest signals we talked about, a scent that says, I'm here, ready to mate, or a flash that says, hey, I'm one of you, those signals can be copied and used for deception. Welcome to the world of natural espionage. Just look at these masters of deceit. The Bolas spider doesn't even bother spinning a web. Instead, it just dangles a sticky ball and releases the exact sex pheromone of a female moth. Hopeful males fly in and never fly out. And in the world of light, you have the female photories firefly, a true femme fatale. She perfectly mimics the mating flashes of a different firefly species, luring those poor males in, only to eat them. It is brutal and it is brilliant. So, what all this deception leads to is something biologists call an evolutionary arms race. You've got the signalers trying to make their codes more secret and specific, and the deceivers trying to crack them. This constant back and forth, this battle of wits, is what drives the incredible, beautiful diversity of communication we see all around us. So, we've decoded messages written in chemicals and messages written in light, but this is just scratching the surface. Animals also communicate with electricity, with vibrations through the ground, with patterns and colors our eyes can't even see. It really makes you wonder, right? What other amazing, complex conversations are happening all around us, just waiting for us to figure out how to listen?